welcome to your reading with me, Natalee, spelled Natalee. If someone has sent you this video, they believe there's something valuable for you to gain through one or a few of the messages contained herein. If this is your first time viewing a tarot video, just observe your own body, thoughts, and emotions for any reactions, subtle or strong. This means you are resonating with the message and can benefit from its guidance. If you'd like to know when I upload or live stream new messages here on the YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, WatchNatalee, spelled Natalee, and toggle the notification bell. You will only get 3 from me per week. To connect on social media, you can follow me over on TikTok, same handle, WatchNatalee. Please block and report any other accounts. Lastly, always remember that time spirals. All of my messages are timeless, and that you can learn more about me, my psychic work, how to retain my services, or how to do your own forecasting down below in the description box. Without further ado, let's open up your message. Hey, come on. Okay, so what message are we opening up today? I've got this one little guy, and hold on. This is wound up tight. This one came through on June the 11th. It just works. It just works. June the 11th, it just works. Something is just kind of that let's put you back. Let's put him back to guard over your messages. Something is just working. So this, honestly, this was a lovely download to come through because it just had this feeling of everything just clicks into place, falls into place. All of the puzzle pieces are there and they're fitting. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. What's going on? Tell me about what is just working. Tell me what we need to know. What message am I here to? Okay, first 2 cards, actually the first 3 cards, we have there's a big glob. I'm just taking these top 3, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Magician. Okay, so whomever you are in this, you want to channel this energy or you want to bring this person around you. This looks like someone who is they might be either very spiritual, very creative, but this is just someone that's really in their flow. So you could meet someone that maybe they were going to college to be an engineer, and then their passion for haberdashery just overtook them and they're just the absolute best in that field. That would be someone like this. This is someone led and drawn and driven by their intuitive emotional feelings, and they also have the ability, however, to ground that. So you get that from both of these individuals. First of all, the Queen of Pentacles and all of the earth signs can be very, very magical in that sense, where they can actually ground what they're getting from the cosmos, and that's not true for everyone. So it doesn't mean that a Taurus or a Virgo or a Capricorn cannot be creative. It's one of those common astrological dime store book cliches that earth signs are for just working really hard, doing the same thing over and over, something boring like maths or accounting or management or something like that. But it's not quite the case. If that person is very creative, they just have an ability to actually ground the inspiration. So it's the difference between a writer that has the biggest imagination in the entire world but doesn't write anything down, versus the writer that writes what they're getting and writes what they're seeing and writes what they're feeling and gets it all down onto paper and has something to show for it. Or for anyone that gets any kind of inspiration for anything, versus the people that are actually grounding that inspiration and producing something out of that. So that's inherent in all of the earth sign energy, and this doesn't have to be an earth sign: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. It can be, it does not have to be. It's the ability that this person has or that you have right now. And then you see it really, really delineated very clearly in the Magician, how he has the wand pointing upwards to grab that cosmic energy, that cosmic flow. And then he has his finger pointing down to the earth to grab that terrestrial energy from from beneath him. So you have that grounded, earthy, terrestrial energy and that cosmic energy from above, and that meets in your solar plexus, it meets in your physical body, and you have your own little electromagnetic little field walking around. So there does seem to be, and then the balance sort of gets burst on the other side of this emotional spectrum. There's a lot of inspiration and there's a lot of grounding. There might just be the perfect element that comes in to kick this off. So it might be a person that's very inspiring. It could be a TV show that's very inspiring. It could be a character in a movie that's very... Guys, I just saw Man of Steel for the first time like a couple of weeks ago, and I worked on the second one. So it's kind of crazy to me that can still happen. Like, just what I want you to think when I'm saying that is to get you to think outside of the restrictions of the time-space continuum. If you like me talking like this, if you like me talking the trippy stuff, I do all of that on the TikTok. For instance, you could connect with an author that lived thousands of years behind you, and you just feel like you know them. You just feel like you'd be best friends if you were in the same lifetime. If you looked at their natal chart and did a synastry comparison, which we do that sometimes in the consigliere session. So if you guys like me reading your astrology for anything, for money, relocation, artistic channeling, or psychic ability, of course, we can do that in your consigliere session. And comparing that, or if you're doing synastry and you want to take your two charts and you want to hear me talk about your compatibility with you and somebody else, you take that artist's natal chart and yours, and you can find a lot of synastry. We're talking creative births here. So you create a poem, you create a song, you create a melody, and that sort of does live on beyond you, but it still has little granules of its creator within that. That's what can explain why you feel so drawn to people from the past, or feel very drawn to pieces of art that are in a different culture, from a different time period. It's the energetic bond, it's the energetic link. So I want you to be very open and broad with this, where you might get some inspiration that just comes from a source that catches you off guard, or could be a little bit unexpected. Whatever this is, it's lightning in a bottle, and it's coming up through you emotionally. So you're going to have a very strong emotional reaction to something, and immediately it's going to make you want to ground it. Maybe you get this wishful thinking, you're looking for a place on Zillow and you find the right one, and then you go see it immediately and you buy it immediately. It can be something kind of like that. It can also be love at first sight, if you meet someone that you've never met before and everything just falls into place and all of the feelings are there, and then you immediately want to start getting to know them, or what have you. Let's move on. Tell me more about... something flip? It did. It is the star as well. So the star did flip. I barely caught that one. So that's pretty fast. And the star. Now you have the magician and the star too. Having the magician and the star, whatever you're doing, you are going to be very persuasive and very magnetic. That's because you are of this vibration. You are of the vibration of the inspiration, or whatever this is. If it's love, if it's creativity, if it's passion, if it's idealism, if it's productivity, whatever this happens to be for you, you are of that vibration. So you are the one channeling it. And the star energy says that it is healing for you in some way, shape, or form. This could be coming after a long either hiatus or a long stretch of a lack of some sort. So a lack of intimacy, a lack of closeness, a lack of inspiration, a lack of dedication, a lack of confidence, a lack of that last element, of that last resource, the last little thing that you needed to really light your fire and get you going. Now you have it. And you can see it very clearly. So whatever this is for you, whatever this source of inspiration is, or whatever this, if you discover a book and you find out it's part of a series of books by some obscure author, and you download it and you get all the rest of it, keep it all around you, keep submerged in this energy, because you in this space, pretty brilliant. You are never more creative than you are in the present moment. And what do people normally do? They normally engage with their environment. They normally check their emails, their social media. They go in and comment, they make a post, they hop on the phone, they take care of their admin. They're connecting with their family groups, their friendship groups, their work groups. They are tapping into the news sources, whatever news sources you get your news from. They tap into the global geopolitical climate, see what's going on in that, in our broader community. And it's all very connected. We have a connection is the whole buzzword of like lately, right? So everyone really connects. They connect to that material, persistent illusion of what we call reality. And that's fine. That's okay. I get it. I totally get it. I get it. When that happens, it is kind of making you think of other things though. Talking with your family makes you think of other things. Talking about work stuff makes you think of other parts of work stuff or other things. Connecting and tapping in with world news is going to stimulate an immediate judgment or an immediate opinion or an immediate reaction from whatever it is that you're taking in, that you are consciously connecting to. You're connecting to it, and now it's feeding you information. You've established this quantum entanglement, and now you're getting its energy. That's all from the very reactionary or responsive state. What I'm getting here is someone that is creating something for other people to respond to, for other people to react to. So if this is you, you are writing some kind of brilliant, inspiring song. You are creating your great American novel. And you're getting it. You're getting it from cosmos. You're getting it from source, or you're getting it from something that you're connecting to, that there's something like ethereal about it. That's why I'm feeling like this is probably you discover some text, some old text from 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago, and you really connect with it. It's just, it has some otherworldliness to it. So otherworldliness is just not in this current reality world. It's going to be in a different reality world. Maybe it's from a different civilization when they did things totally different. Maybe it's totally fiction, and it's some, you get into somebody else's imagination and you just take a break from reality to go to live in their reality, and you get your ideas that way. So Lathe of Heaven, read that book. If you're looking for some kind of inspiration, it's kind of a cool book. So the Lathe, Lathe of Heaven. So she just showed me that as I'm talking to you, she's just showing me that. Sometimes when I'm talking, I'll see things over people's faces, or I'll see numbers or whatever. So, but I got that like just talking to the camera. So it's either a book recommendation, or it's someone's confirmation, or it's a clue, or it has something to do with the reading right now. So you're getting this divinity, you're getting this connection, and it's because you're able to be in the present moment and not totally connected with external stimuli. So when you shut that down, and that's what meditation is supposed to do, you're supposed to shut down the body. You're not taking in any stimulation, you're not eating, you're not drinking, you're not putting attention, dividing your attention to what the body's doing. You're shutting that down. Sensory, the sense of touch, shutting it down. Shutting down your eyesight, closing your eyes. When you put in your earbuds, if you're listening to binaural beats, if you're listening to an 𝚑𝚒𝚗 meditation, we have those over on the Patreon. If you're listening to anything at all, you're shutting down the auditory sense of the outside world. And one by one, you're shutting down these different senses to get nice and relaxed, nice and disconnected, so that the one sense, the psychic sense, is able to go and pick something up, is able to go and grab some inspiration or grab some guidance, or to hear some messages coming through. So specifically, you might have had trouble sleeping, or you could have been waking up at 3 a.m., which is the spooky hour. It really is like visiting hours for the spirits and for entities. And that's because it's the one time when we're quiet, when we're just chill, when everything is closed down. I love that nighttime that's not the golden hour, but it's like this, it's a golden hour for a different reason, because it is this clearest communication, the clearest pathway, the clearest channel to source. I love it because I like thinking about how everybody else is asleep and I'm awake. I like to think about that. I like that, but it's also extremely effective, and not just for me, but if you read a lot of different people's experience with that time, with the 3 a.m. time. It's just try it. Just try it. As you know, everything here is results driven. Everything from my astrology to my tarot to my psychic ability to my classes, teaching remote viewing, it's all empirical. It's all based on results. So you want to play around with that. 3 a.m. Let's continue. What else? And it'll just work. Like, especially with this reading, it just works. This energy is so clear. Like, it's either on or it's off. It works or it doesn't. So you won't have to flim-flam around with experiments. Like, it's just going to work. Thank you. Again, another meditation energy, the 4 of Swords. This is dude here laying down on his sarcophagi, and he's got his hands clasped in prayer. The swords are withdrawn, and there's stained glass window in the background. Very, you know, in such a nice repose. Very, we're gonna halt there. This seems pretty congruent. 8 of Cups, the Devil, and the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Let me start there. Overall, now remember, 𝚘𝚑𝚗𝚘, all of us can turn into the 𝚘𝚑𝚗. We all grow nasty little goat horns, little goat feet and everything, and we all turn into that when the shadow overtakes us, or when we don't make any kind of attempt to improve or evolve spiritually, you know. So, you know, there's going to be something that is familiar that may try to pull you back, may try to pull you down. This would be like you're trying to meditate and thoughts about, you know, your neighbor or your coworker, or how someone cut you off in traffic, or, you know, anything like that. That could be a form of this devil energy, something trying to pull you off of your focus, though, because your focus is extremely clear. You have a goal, you have a mission, you have, at least you do on an unconscious level, you have a soul's mission that you're trying to get to. So on some level, you're aware of that. On some level, you are, and you want that. This 8 of Cups does say that you are going to be called to leave something behind that you're not necessarily super heartbroken about leaving it behind. It might be a little bit bittersweet, but honestly, you know what you're walking towards, and that's what's pulling you, and that's what the stronger energy is being pulled towards something. So I don't want you to focus on like the sad nostalgia of like looking behind you as you're walking away, and like holding that eye contact as you're walking away. Like that moment freaking lasts forever. Like, don't do that. This dude has his back turned to the 8 Cups, and only the moon is there to witness him moving on. Likewise, I want you to focus on your North Star, following your internal guidance system. And honestly, it won't be that hard because it'll be so clear to you. It just works. It just, whether this is a relationship, if you're falling in love, if you're meeting new people, if you're making new friends, if you're trying a new workout routine, if you're trying any kind of routine, if you're trying anything at all, as long as you are guided, if you are intuitively guided and you are authentically inspired, that's the way to go. Let's start opening this up, and I do want to use the Tarot of Sexual Magic. I know we're not getting anything that is overtly relationship oriented. This just speaks to a lot of inspiration. And honestly, you have the Ace of Cups, the Star, and the 4 of Swords, and the 8 of Cups, all of these very deeply emotional energies. Remember, one feeling, one emotion contains terabytes and terabytes of cosmic information. You can't even begin to understand the depth of what it is that you are feeling in any given moment. There's a lot being communicated to you through one big feeling, or through how you feel towards something, or the inspiration that you're getting. I'm excited for you. This, when you feel the authentic thrill of inspiration, that spark, once that spark goes and the fuse is lit and you are just off and running, it is exhilarating, and it is one of those things that really is worth living for its own sake to experience. So you guys know that Fountainhead is like my favorite book, and I used to read it every single year. There's a vision I hold in my mind's eye, and it's Howard Rourke at the very top of the Winan building. Everything he says, specifically when he's talking to Peter Keating about this freaking building, he just wants to build it. He just wants to be able to say that he built it. He gets it. He gets where the pleasure is. The pleasure is in the creator's seat. The pleasure is in doing the work. So as long as you love the work that you're doing, as long as you love the commitments that you've committed to, as long as you love the doing of your life, you will always be the most present and the most creative, because you're always going to be the most creative when you're living in the present moment, when you're not living in the past of what happened before, when you're not living in anxiety about something that may or may not happen in the future, or something that you're dreading that is going to be happening that you're really feeling upset about. All of that is not real. All of that is like oscillating energy grids, okay? So I am just picking up that you are going to feel that. You're going to feel that authentic spark of inspiration. You're going to feel that spark of creativity, and you're going to want to ground it. You're going to want to ground it. Don't let anything stop you. You should just be going back and forth between getting the inspiration and then grounding the inspiration. So I really should open up a whole separate course about creative channeling, because I can go so much deeper into this. But just know that the only hiccup is going to be you feeling that nostalgia for what was familiar, or nostalgia for whatever was old, or whatever you're walking away from. And I'm not even getting that super strongly, except that it's pulling you down, or whatever's pulling you out into the past instead of keeping you creative in the present moment. Okay, let's take a look at the Magician, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles, please. We've got the Sun. Pretty, oh no, we can show this. There's a lot of back muscles in this photograph. Okay, well, it's happy. It's happy. Okay, let's take a look at the Sun. Fusion, fascination. The eye is the mirror of the soul and creates with the magic of thought. If partners suggest happy images to each other, the couple reaches a state of union and lasting splendor. I love this deck so freaking much, and I love this card because of the image. The eye is the mirror of the soul and creates with the magic of thought. So looking into someone's eyes and having them think things, and you reading their thoughts through their eyes. And they're talking specifically within a partnership. If partners suggest happy images to each other, the couple reaches a state of union and a lasting splendor. So eye contact could be very important in terms of inspiring you at this time. Eye contact specifically, but also if people are involved, I feel like this is just a partnership or a collaboration or a team effort, or there's just something that just clicks about it. Like it just falls into place, and it's because someone is creating happy images. It's because someone is creating a great product, a great service, a great love, a great kindness, a great tone, just a great attitude. Someone is bringing a lot of light, a lot of happiness, a lot of extra photons. Someone's extremely, also what I love about this is that the Queen of Pentacles is here. So that's like financially prosperous, financially profitable. So whatever this kind of connection is, or collaboration, or even the inspiration. So try to find the photograph of this obscure author. Try to find the, something where you can look into their eyes and see if that triggers any more inspiration. There's also a big, overwhelming yes answer. Very, very positive. Let's take a look at the Star. Ooh. Okay, so this little guy in my lap, the Queen of Chalices. I'm silly. So we have another queen, Queen of Chalices. Very interesting. Tenderness, the magic of the yellow leaves. A tender and gentle story brings you to the point of planning your future with serenity. Wow, this is gentle. This is gentle. This is non-toxic baby powder gentle, like super duper. If this is a person, they are so sensitive. In a good way, in the best way possible. They're very sensitive and they're very gentle. There's just this, again, very emotional or very creative or very spiritual, just real gentle though, really soft touch, very velvety, very sensual, very safe feeling. This can be someone around you that is, if this is someone around you, they could be a bit of an activator. So whether they're very emotional, they could be activating you to be more comfortable being emotional. If they're more spiritual, they could activate you into having more spiritual experiences. They could be psychic, and the psychic activation would work the same way. You start having psychic experiences. Or if they're very creative and they're around you, they could activate you being more creative in your own right, in your own personal band of frequency, whatever you are personally tuning into. But they will increase that. They're like a booster antenna, this Queen of Cups. This could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. Last but not least, let's take a look at this Four of Swords, please. Thank you. We've got 3 cards. We've got the Knight of Swords, the 8 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands. Just flash you guys super quick here. Okay. Let's start reading these cards. Okay, the Knight of Swords, the 8 of Wands, and the 4 of Wands. Oh, man, what's all this now? The Knight of Swords looks a little exciting. The Knight, taming, the magic of the frogs. Hunting is an age-old sport. The end justifies the means, but today's prey will be tomorrow's hunter, and vice versa. Oh, that's right. So this is the one for me that's like where they just chase each other around the house. And they just take turns being the hunter and the hunted. Wow. So your meditations are kind of happening there. Things are moving and going along at lightning speed. There might also be something in your life that has been very quiet and been very dormant. And it's about to be activated. It's about to be woken up. It's about to just kick into high gear. Let's take a look at the 8 of Wands. Savoring, the magic of the swallows. Pleasure in and of itself is like the essence of springtime. Savoring eroticism as a pastime allows you some breathing room. Oh my God, you're going on vacation. You're going on some kind of trip. That's what's so inspiring. You're traveling. Now, some of you, this is an armchair travel. This is you in your recliner. This is you in your couch, in your bed, and you're reading some book that takes you far, far away, disconnects you from this reality. Because now we're getting into some pleasure for the sake of pleasure, and it's through just pleasure and happiness and relaxing and disconnecting that rejuvenates your spirit, gets you some of your soul back that the reality was just sucking out of you. I'm just kidding. But you got it back now. You're getting it back. You're about to go somewhere. You're about to do something. Honestly, this looks like the best thing for you. That's really funny. I was picking up like the mental disconnect, like the mental vacation. And that's going to be true for all of you. And for some of you, it's going to be because of a physical vacation, because you are physically changing your physical environment. And it would have gone from being sort of sedentary. It's not sedentary, it's sedentary for quite some time. Okay, what's this Four of Wands? This is the swing. Playing. The magic of the seven beans. Sexual intent is born of play and enjoyment, just as harmony is born of happiness. Man. Again. More playing. Play and enjoyment. You're reconnecting with your play mechanism. You are. Oh, sorry, I took the 𝚑𝚑𝚑, I did. So, excuse me, but I did. I took the Claritin. So if my eyes start to just water or get all red, or if I just start sneezing up a storm, I don't know what's happening. Okay, back to the play. This is for the sake of joy, for the sake of fun itself. So for instance, you don't want to try and force yourself to do anything that, of course, you don't want to do, but especially if it's something that's supposed to be happy, if it's supposed to be fun, and if it's supposed, you know, if you do, if you make rocking chairs and you are this brilliant artistic carpenter and you make these special rocking chairs with your bare hands, because you love to do this, well, maybe you get popular and everybody wants a rocking chair now. And the list is like 6 months, a year, 2 years out to get your handmade rocking chair. You need to take breaks. You need to take vacations, because if you just grind these rocking chairs out, it will decrease the quality of that output, and it will turn you into this rote thing that is just this, you know, mechanized conveyor belt of rocking chairs. So you need to take a break from making rocking chairs and rejuvenate yourself so that you have that inspiration and that divinity and that spark, that divine spark within you to go make these magical rocking chairs. Oh, bottom of the deck. I want to see the bottom of the deck for this. We have the King of Pentacles counterpart. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the Six of Wands. Okay, so the King of Pentacles in this one. I mean, it's giving very 300, and we're here for it. We are. Okay, the King of Pentacles, fear. The magic of the white dove. Fear increases the distance, and pursuing your partner will do no good. Happiness is born of a mutual effort to move towards each other. Fear increases the distance, and pursuing your partner will do no good. Happiness is born of a mutual effort to move together. Okay, so the King of Pentacles does have this energy of I'm pursuing and I'm evading. I'm pursuing, I'm evading. You know, having sort of like these clocks that are not totally in sync with each other, as far as internal clocks that move us towards intimacy and move us towards independence. So if this is a couple, this could be a major breakthrough, because it could have been like your clocks are just off. One person wants independence, one person wants intimacy. The same person now wants independence, that other person's now ready for intimacy, and doesn't really line up. But you have the counterpart here too. You have the Queen of Pentacles. And this Queen of Pentacles is very inspired and very warm and loving and affectionate. So for some of you, it's getting on the same timing, on the same metronome. But for others of you, this is the missing piece, is that you've been searching for the wrong person or the right kind of people, or you've been looking in the wrong places to find this right person, this puzzle piece of a person, and now they're here. The Knight of Wands. This is a good one. This is very Very nice. The night embracing the magic of the spike of wheat. The bond that prevents others from escaping us is made not of fear, but of joy. Not of chains, but of freedom. Not of past promises, but of future plans. Again, there's this energy of sort of letting everything be very free, letting everything be very open, letting everything be for the sake of joy and happiness, and in some cases pleasure, in some cases, you know, that kind of like fun. But again, this with the King of Pentacles in this deck does feel like your passions and your wants and your inspiration has been frustrated because it's been focused on the wrong person, on the wrong subject, in the wrong direction, in the wrong job, in the wrong what have you. And I feel like there's a wonderful opportunity coming up for you to redirect your course and to hit the bullseye. Last but not least, we have the Six of Wands. Touching, the magic of the hare and the dove. Growing closer, growing apart, diluting, confirming. Every game of pleasure must end and doubts must be dispelled. Okay, so all of these three cards read together overall at the bottom of this deck, you are probably seeing something that does not work. You're probably seeing where your energies are being invested and you're pouring into, and you're not, it's just not working. What was your download? It just works. I thought it was something with clicking, but no, it just works. It just works. This is going to be something that does just work. And because this really does work and you start flowing your energy into it and you're immediately getting results, you're immediately getting rejuvenated, and you are growing in energy, you're growing in power, it's going to make a very stark contrast to where you're trying to push too hard with a person or a project or a way of living or a job, whatever it happens to be, that is not clicking, it is not working. And it's almost like the time's up to call it in, like, okay, well, we put all of this into R&D. What are the published results? You'll see this very visibly because it is the Six of Wands. I see that you are ready to take all of your energy and sort of funnel it into your own power. You're ready to be as creative as you know that you can be, creating a life for yourself, creating artistry, creating relationships, creating financial abundance and wealth, creating home and family, creating stress-freeness, creating peace, creating, you know, whatever it is that you want to create in your life or create more of. This sees you stepping into that. You are going to see what's not working and you will be challenged to let yourself be pulled to where the success is, your own personal barometer of success, which in this case looks like happiness and harmony for the sake of happiness and harmony, inspiration, maybe even some kind of healing or working with some new healing modality or a healing type of person, and going back and forth between resting and rejuvenating and creating, inspiring and grounding, and then just seeing and accepting what's not the best vessel for your energy. Any other advice? Any other guidance? Thank you. Bottom of the deck, a white owl. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. More confirmation. You don't need any outside anything or outside sources. If you want to learn more about the why and like the quantum mechanics of this, TikTok. But just know flat out, the wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. The popper is the Huron. Let go of convention and follow your own unique path. Let go of convention and follow your own unique path. So something about this might look odd. It might look unconventional. It might be sort of strange. But that's part of it. You're in a totally different spot. So don't worry about convention, because what's conventional today is already out of vogue by tonight. So it's like really not worth it especially with how fast everything happens and how fast everything changes, you guys, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's no investment into the convention anymore like there was years ago when the entire freaking world was reinforced to support grossness. That's changing. So you already know all that. You already know all of that. Okay, you guys just tap in, see what comes out. Let us know how creative you guys are getting with all this stuff. Have a great vacation, and I will see you guys in your next message. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.